It is Tuesday, April 16th, and the Dong Report and the Whiff Report, both of those reports are back in your life. I am Matt Modi, and I have 5 home run predictions for you guys to lock in today, and I have 2 strikeout props for you guys to lock in today as well. Pretty big card that we have today, pretty confident in the plays that we have. Yesterday ended up being a pretty good day. We got one dong to mash. Thank you to Gunnar Henderson's. We had a profitable day on the Dong Report yesterday, playing these for a quarter unit for the time being, so the total profit looks low, but it's because the unit size was low as well. We also got Aaron Nola to cash out one of our Whiff Report plays as well. Those were only played for a half unit, so that's why the profit looks low. It's just because of the low unit size, but having a day in the green 2 days in a row that we're now in the green is pretty good considering how bad the season started. I'm still playing these dong plays for a quarter unit, but I am upping the Whiff Report to a full 1 unit play each. So that's going to be tracked. That is how that's going to be tracked accordingly. On the entire season, we're still obviously in a pretty rough spot on the Dong Report. We had a terrible three-week stretch, so we're down a little over 14, about 14 and a half units. But hey, we've been in the green 2 days in a row, so hopefully we're starting to turn this thing around. And then with the Whiff Report that we literally just started yesterday, those are strikeout props. We went 1-1, but both were for plus money bangers. So we were up 0.2 units there. Again, later unit size equals smaller profits, but I'm always going to unit size responsibly. So I don't really, it's okay that we're having a light profit because we played them light as well. Let's hope we can have another good day today. And if you are not already, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Then for this video, like and comment. All that stuff helps me out a ton. Starting with the Dong Report, our first play here is going to be in the Giants versus Marlins game. And I'm taking Jorge Soler to hit a home run, plus 330 odds at FanDuel. I love this play for Jorge Soler. Plus 330 is a little bit lower for a guy that's not like Ozuna or Ohtani or whatever. But he's still a pretty good power hitter. Last year, he had a great year hitting for power, actually on the Marlins. So this is somewhat of a revenge spot for him. Now, it is in Miami, and Miami is in a dome, but it's not a hitter's park just because of the ballpark dimensions. But Soler is the kind of guy where if he gets a hold of one, he can just send it out into the moon. It doesn't really matter what ballpark it's at. And he's been pretty good to start the year for the Giants. He's got excellent power numbers. His ISO rate over the past 14 days is at 28.65%. 28.6%. That is obviously in the excellent category. Some of his other power numbers really look good. Like he's got a fly ball rate of 58.1%. That really helps with home runs because obviously you need to get the ball in the air, and he does that more often than not. The fly ball percentage just kind of tells you how the batter hits, and he hits the ball for power and puts it in the air. And I also really like this matchup against the Marlins pitcher as well. He's going up against Ryan Weathers of the Marlins. He's a left-handed pitcher, and over the last 14 days, his ISO rate against left-handed pitching jumps up to 36.4%. Obviously, it's still in the excellent category and even better than his normal one. And he's got a fly ball rate of 62.5% and a pull rate of 50%. Pull rate isn't as predictive, but generally pretty good for home runs as well because the biggest home run hitters pull the ball. And it just kind of shows you the approach of the batter at the plate. So against left-handed pitching, he hits a ton of fly balls and he pulls them. That generally, and he hits them for power looking at ISO rate. All 3 of those is a great combination for home runs. And I also like the fact in terms of just what type of pitches Ryan Weather throws. He throws a fastball over 50% of the time. And Jorge Soler annihilates fastballs, right? Like look at the same 14-day span. He's got the 10th highest runs above average, specifically against fastballs, which for how he hits, which is for power, that's a good sign for us. That's our first play. Next up, Twins versus Orioles. I'm going back to Gunnar Henderson to hit a home run, plus 460 odds at BetRivers. We went with him yesterday. He was the one that came through for us. He just exploded on a baseball. Let's hope he can do the same thing today as he has another beautiful right-handed matchup, which he's dominated in his young career. Like his splits are significantly better against righties, and that's what he's facing tonight in the Twins in Chris Paddock. Over the past 14 days, all 3 of his home runs have come against right-handed pitchers. He's got an ISO rate against righties of 31.3%, a hard hit percentage of 56.5%, which is incredible, smoking the ball against righties. And then on the year, he's got a barrel rate of 13.5%, which isn't quite in the excellent category, but still within the good category. And it's another, again, matchup that he should be able to crush. Chris Paddock of the Twins is a right-handed pitcher. A right-handed pitcher gives up pretty solid contact as well. He's allowing a barrel rate of 10.3%. That's good for 13th worst in the MLB at this current moment in time. And even if Paddock doesn't last long in the game, which he hasn't in his first couple starts, Gunnar hit a home run off the Twins bullpen last night. So hopefully he can do that again if he doesn't get one off Paddock. That's our second play. Third up, Yankees versus Blue Jays game. I'm taking Davis Schneider to hit a home run, plus 510 odds at Bet Rivers. So there is a little bit of risk with Davis Schneider in that he's not an everyday player for the Blue Jays, but he's got such a good matchup against the Yankees pitcher Carlos Rodon that my guess here is that he's going to be in the lineup. And if he is, again, he's got an excellent matchup against who's pitching for the Yankees. He's a lefty, and Schneider crushes left-handed pitching. This year, he's got an ISO rate of 46.2% against left-handed pitching. Last year, his ISO rate against left-handed pitching was 51.2%. That's a crazy number. But one thing to keep in mind is that in limited at-bats, your numbers are always going to be wonky. But in those limited at-bats, he just crushes left-handed pitching. Both of his home runs this year have come against lefties. All of his home runs last year came against lefties, which means all of his career home runs have come against left-handed pitchers. And Schneider is kind of similar to Jorge Soler in that his power splits look pretty good, specifically for home runs. He's got a fly ball ratio of 50% against left-handed pitching and a pull rate, a ridiculous pull rate of 75%. All he's trying to do is hit for power and pull the ball against lefties. And on the year, he's got a barrel rate of 15% as well. That puts him just in the excellent category. If Davis gets the start, he's going to mash one. Let's hope he does. Next up, our fourth pick in the Angels versus Rays game. I'm taking Isaac Paredes to hit a home run, plus 600 odds at BetMGM, So Paredes kind of screwed us. I went with him on the Dong Report on Saturday. He didn't hit one. And then, of course, he did one day later on Sunday. He turned into a one-day late a-hole by hitting one on Sunday. Let's hope we can get him right tonight on this beautiful Tuesday, getting him to hit a home run. And what's a really good matchup for him? He's hit 4 home runs in the last 14 days. In that same span, he's got an ISO rate of 30.2%. Some decent power numbers outside of that as well. Fly ball ratio of 51.2%. A pull ratio of 55.7%. The risk with Paredes, and why we're getting this at plus 600 odds, is he admittedly hasn't done a great job getting solid contact. His barrel rate is a little bit low. His hard hit percentage is a little bit low. And what's kind of funny, he literally has hit more home runs in the last 14 days than he has barreled up the ball, which means that when he gets a hold of a baseball, he can crush it. And he doesn't even need to make solid contact to hit a home run as well. But the pitcher he's going up against for the Angels, Jose Soriano, is a pitcher he should be able to hit for solid contact and should be able to smoke. Soriano's allowing a barrel rate on the year of 13.3%. That's worse than the MLB to start the year. He's allowing a hard hit percentage of 43.3%. That's really bad as well. And he's a right-handed pitcher who Paredes has smoked. His splits are much better against righties. So for plus 600 odds, it is a very good price. Lastly, fifth and final Dong pick of the day. Twins versus Orioles game. We're going back to this one, and I'm taking Colton Cowser to hit a home run, plus 800 odds at FanDuel. The 800 odds, I think, are crazy for Cowser to hit a home run. He's been crushing the baseball recently. I just don't quite think the books have caught up to how good this guy has been. And he's a left-handed pitcher, having the same pitching matchup advantage going up against Chris Paddock as Gunnar Henderson is. And Cowser, if you look at his stats, it's crazy. And this is not even against right-handed pitching. This is just in general over the past 14 days. He's hit 4 home runs. He's got an ISO rate of 48.6%. That's second best in the MLB. He's got a barrel rate of 20.8%. That's the 10th best in the MLB. A hard hit percentage of 62.5%. That's the 4th best in the MLB. He's been annihilating the baseball. Admittedly, I'm guessing the reason why we're getting plus 800 is because his fly ball and pull rate ratios aren't typically what you look for a power hitter. But how well he's been hitting the ball, and he also crushes fastballs in terms of power the best. And Paddock throws over 40% of the time he throws fastballs. Another reason why Colton Cowser should smash a home run. That's our fifth play. Let's hope we can get, depending on the odds, if one of the higher odds guys hit a home run, we're going to be profitable. And then if we get Soler and any other combination of 2, we will be profitable as well. So let's hope we get all 5, actually. That'd be great. Now we move on to the Whiff Report. And our first play there is in the Reds-Mariners game. And I'm taking Hunter Green over 8.5 strikeouts, plus 136 odds at FanDuel. 9 strikeouts might sound like a lot, especially for a young guy like Hunter Green. But when you look into the matchup in terms of the pitcher and who he's going up against, it starts to make sense. Looking at Hunter Green, he is an elite, electric strikeout pitcher, one of the best strikeout pitchers in the entire MLB. His issue is allowing solid contact. Like if someone gets a hold of it, that ball is going to the moon because of how hard he pitches. But he generates a lot of swings and misses. He's got a strikeout rate of 30.1%, meaning he strikes out 30% of the batters he faces. That's silly. As of right now, that's good for 9th best in the MLB at this current moment. Last year, that would have been good for 5th best. He's got excellent strikeout stuff. His last start, he went 105 pitches. He struck out 9 Brewers. And what bodes well for us tonight is the matchup against the Mariners. The Brewers, who again, he struck out 9 Brewers, are one of the lower strikeout teams in the MLB, right? Middle to low. The Mariners, they strike out literally the most in the entire MLB against right-handed pitching. Against righties, they have a strikeout rate of 30.2%. Again, that is the lowest number. That is the highest strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. And that's just a horrible number in general. According to FanGraphs, if you kind of want to look at tiers in terms of strikeout rate, a team with a strikeout rate of 22% and below, that's below average. 25% and below is considered poor, and 27.5% and below is considered awful. Mariners are at 30%. They're a little bit above 30%. Hunter Green could strike out 10 tonight. We just need him to get to 9, and we're sitting pretty. Next up, last pick of the evening overall, Twins versus Orioles game. A lot of plays in this one. Grayson Rodriguez over 7.5 strikeouts, plus 140 odds at FanDuel. Another play that seems like a lot, 8 strikeouts for Grayson Rodriguez, seems like a high number. Another example of a pretty good strikeout pitcher having a pretty good matchup as well. Now, the Twins aren't quite the Mariners in terms of how often they strike out. They're still really bad. They strike out, team strikeout rate against right-handed pitching of 27.8%. That's 3rd worst in the MLB and still considered awful by FanGraphs standards. Grayson Rodriguez, not quite Hunter Green, still has a very, very good strikeout rate of 28.4%. Last year, that would have been good for 7th best in the MLB. This year, that is currently the 16th best strikeout rate in the MLB. He hit this number. He struck out over 7.5 in his first start against the Angels. He has missed it in his last 2 starts, so let's hope we can get a nice fade of recent results, cash this out for us. And that's all we got. 7 plays total, about 3.25 units risked total today. Let's hope we can have a good day today, cashing some home runs, getting some swings and misses. Remember to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you like the plays that I give out, I do have a dub club where everything gets sent out for only $5 a month. It's the same plays that you see me give out on YouTube and on Twitter. You just get them early. So the odds, there's no risk of odds changing or anything like that. Get sent directly to your phone via text, email, telegram, however you want it. Again, it's only $5 a month, but you can also get the same plays for free if you'd rather watch the videos and risk having the odds change. But that's all we got. Appreciate everybody for watching and have a good one.